Welcome to Morovia. Hey, have a taste of our culture. Hey, our girls are like no other. Hey, anywhere we take it over. Hey, welcome to Morovia. Hey, have a taste of our culture. Hey, our girls are like no other. Hey.
Hi guys, welcome back to my kitchen. So in today's video I am showing you guys how to make my favorite soup in this whole wide world, fried potato greens. I'm starting by seasoning my meat with some bouillon seasoning. Then I'm adding 1 cut up onion and 3 habanero pepper. Then I'll add enough water to cover up the meat, to cook the meat and you want to use whatever kind of meat that you want. You don't have to use the exact meat that I'm using. Now I'm washing my sink because this is where I'll be cutting up my greens. I don't really have a bowl big enough to hold all the greens that I have, so I will be cutting my greens in my sink. If you feel like the sink is too dirty and you cannot use it to cut your greens, I beg, use bowls if that makes you happy. This is easier for me, and so far nobody has died from germs. So yeah, anyways, now I am going to be gathering the amount of greens that could fit in my hand and proceed to cutting them. And I'll show you guys how I figure out how to cut my greens, because I am cutting these greens is not one of my favorite thing in the world. It used to be. Now I am not a pro or an expert at cutting greens. I actually used to love cutting greens. I used to love, like, when we go to like the farm and we'll pick a lot of greens, and then everybody will just come home and that'll be like the activity for the day. We'll just sit and cut greens all day. But I have cut myself so many goddamn time that at this point I can't do it anymore. So I figure out this I think I've seen somebody on YouTube do it before, this cutting board method, and so far it has been so easy for me. It don't cut the greens as small as I want it, but it's okay because it's still gonna cook and I can still add soda, so it's working for me. So it's faster, it's easier. So I wish I can stay with the traditional way of cutting greens because I really enjoy cutting greens, but I have cut myself so many times I think I'm running out of band-aids. Anyways, so yeah, this works for me. Find what works for you and do it. Some people like to blend them, some people like to put them in the food processor. Whatever that floats your boat, go ahead. Cooking is all about learning what you like and what you don't like. Whatever that works for you in your kitchen, do it. So this cutting board thing, it has been doing it for me lately. Okay, so because my greens are not chopped into like small pieces like it's supposed to be for like frying greens, I will be roughing them a little bit for easier cooking, just to soften them a little bit before putting it into the pot. So I'm adding a little bit of baking soda and I'll roughen them. If you have roughened greens before, you will know that it takes a long time to get it perfect. I don't want that perfect look. I just want it to be softened a little bit. So I will be roughing them for like 5 to 10 minutes, 5 to 6 minutes. But it's not, I'm not going to do it for too long, just so it is not as rough, as big as it is right there. So after dealing with my greens, now I'm going to cut up this onion. So I'm going to use this whole onion, and then after cutting the onions, I'll be cutting my habanero peppers into little pieces. Now you can use fried fish, fried chicken, fried meat, whatever that floats your boat. I don't really understand why we always have to put something fried into the fried soup, but yeah, that's just what it is. So I am using the same oil that I used to fry my fish. I'm using this oil because it's already hot and it already has the flavors from the fish into it. So I'm gonna fry my onions for a few minutes first, and then I will add my potato greens. So after adding my greens into my pot, I am adding my Maggi cubes. And when I'm cooking my greens or anything that's fried, I like to also add my dry ingredients. Like if I have dry fish, dry chicken, dry meat, dry boni, stuff like that, I like to actually let that cook with like those. I like to let those cook with the greens without adding water. My stockfish, everything. And as you saw, I added a little bit of the stock from the meats, and I'm just gonna cover this up and allow it to cook for about 20 to 30 minutes by itself. And remember to always continue to stir your food because it will burn at the bottom. So yeah. So after about 45 minutes of cooking, I am adding my meat to my soup. I like to add the meat a little bit earlier when the greens is not all the way cooked, because like I said in my previous video, I like to chew the bones in my chicken, my meat. So I like to add the meat a little bit earlier so the seasoning can mix into the meat and the soup taste could be into the meat. I don't know if that makes sense, but I hope you guys understand and grasp what I'm trying to say. So after adding my meat, I am just going to cover this up and allow it to cook until about 90% of the water has dried up. Like you see right here, you'll know when the water is drying up when the oil starts rising to the top and start bubbling at the top. So after that, I add my fish, and then I'm just going to put my temperature on low and allow it to cook for about 15 minutes, and then it's ready. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye.